It's high noon, 12 noon. Time to get this party started. How's everybody doing today? Good. I couldn't hear you. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, all right. Good. Yeah, we got a big crowd today. And after we finish this, we got a special party down at the Necto, so we're all going to go over there for the rave this afternoon. So forget work. Forget about work. Hey, so my name is Derek Marivon, CEO of Ingenix Digital Marketing, and I'm up here with Stacy Kollick at Dollar Bill Printing, which is a digital print shop. And this is LA2M. Is anyone here for your very first LA2M? Okay, quite a few newcomers. Thank you for coming. We do meet every Wednesday. Where you been? But you came today, so I'm glad you did. For all you newbies, you can follow us on Twitter at LA2M. You can check in on Foursquare. There's an LA2M check-in. We also have Facebook and LinkedIn groups. Join us there. So stay connected with our group. We have great programs every Wednesday. We are a 501c3 marketing nonprofit. So we went through the big process of becoming a 501c3, which means we are essentially supported by our members. There's no membership fee to be here. It's actually free to come. So all of you can sit here for free. That's great. If you want lunch, it's $10, and that is to Conor O'Neill's. The menus are on the table. That includes drink tip and all that. And we support ourselves by passing the hat. So again, we have no membership fees. You know, we are a volunteer organization. We have one employee. Mary Lou, who checked you in this morning, is our one employee because there's so much work to do. So thanks, Mary Lou, for being our employee. We pass the hat. If you want to contribute to help cover our hard costs, which we do have a decent amount, we suggest $5 donation or whatever you want to throw in the hat. Stacy's our treasurer. She's going to pass the hat. Don't feel like you have to contribute, but it does help support us and pay for our expenses. So Stacy's up here. We also have T-shirts for our speakers. So these are LA2M T-shirts. We only brought 3, so you guys are going to have to wrestle over. Oh, we have 4. Okay. So these guys all get T-shirts. Yeah. But yeah, our whole panel. We have a panel today. Our whole panel gets T-shirts. So the format, just to give you an idea of format, these guys are going to talk till around 12:30, and then we're going to have some Q&A, and then at 12:45 we do introductions. And you'll be amazed that we can get around the whole room. I don't know how many people are here today, but it's a full house. In 15 minutes. Okay, Carter opened up one more seat over here. So we're going to get around the whole room in 15 minutes with introductions. So plan for that. Think about what you're going to say, and keep it brief. LA2M also is sponsor supported, so we do have sponsors. So if you want to sponsor LA2M, it's $250 a month. That gets your business promoted to around 2,000 people on our mailing list within Southeast Michigan, which is great. And let's see, our sponsor this month is ServPro. So Laura Spenceley is just going to say a couple words as the sponsor this month.
Hey, welcome everybody. I wanted to thank you for coming today. Just want to remind you that ServPro does have a mobile app for both iPhone and Android. So SERVPRO. Feel free to download that. At the end of the month, when our sponsorship ends, I'll be giving away a prize for everybody that's getting the drawing that has our app downloaded on your phone. So we look forward to learning great things this month from LA2M, and thank you all for coming.
Great. Thank you, Laura. So Laura's our sponsor. Thank you. Small business owners like her that really help LA2M run, because that sponsorship really helps support some of our costs. And I've actually used ServPro, which is, we had some flooding in our basement a few years ago, and we got some mold. It was terrible. But they came and cleaned everything up, and it was reasonably priced, so Laura and ServPro are the people to call. Just say you knew her from LA2M, so we can track our conversions. And Mary Lou, do we have a sponsor next month?
We do.
Okay, next month is Leslie, right? Let's Go Marketing. Are we open for sponsors after that?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so starting in March, we need sponsors. Does anybody want to be the March sponsor? Any enterprising business owner wants to be the March sponsor?
Don't be shy.
That's a hot month. You think this is a big crowd? Wait till March. That's when it really goes out there. Well, if you do want to be a sponsor, no pressure. I'm not going to sit here and hold you until someone agrees. Come talk to Mary Lou. It's only $250, right? It's pretty reasonable for all the exposure you get. All right, so enough talking. This panel is pretty amazing. That's why there's such a big turnout. So we have friends of ours from Bank of Ann Arbor, which is LA2M's bank. We love Bank of Ann Arbor. We have friends of ours from Perich Advertising, right? And unfortunately, Ernie didn't come, but he sent one of his intelligent people to represent. And then we have this guy from Pakmode, which does these really cool I Spy pubs. So let's give them a round of applause. They can introduce themselves more and welcome them.
Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Samantha West, and one of the many things that I do in the marketing department at Bank of Ann Arbor, aside from graphic design, planning one of the coolest concert series in Ann Arbor, and telling cheesy jokes to all of my coworkers, is working on social media. And one of the things that we've done with social media that has been really effective for us is using contests and incentives. So we wanted to talk a little bit about that today. Felt the panel format would be a good way to sort of get the message out to you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to have about 15 minutes or so, 15, 20 minutes with the panel, and then we're going to open it up for questions. There are some note cards and pens on your table, so if you have a question that you think of at any point, just jot it down and raise your card up and I'll come and get it. We'll try to get through as many of them as we can. And then afterwards, all of our panelists will be available to chat with you if there's anything you want to ask that we haven't covered today in our chat. So. Without further ado, I'm going to turn things over to our panelists who are going to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about their connections with social media. So let's start with Rhonda.
All right, I'm Rhonda Foxworth, and I'm the Vice President and Marketing Manager at Bank of Ann Arbor. We've been using social media for Bank of Ann Arbor since 2009, and we've done several contests. What's been kind of fun is to be recognized in the banking industry, particularly among community banks, as a leader in the use of social media. So that's been a fun thing to mess with. And I've been with Bank of Ann Arbor for about 14 years.
I'm Lyndsay Kapurch with Perich, Advertising and Design. I'm an account executive there, working closely with Rhonda and the bank on their social media projects. I also work with Grand Hotel and a few other local clients on their social media. Before that, I was with MSNL Digital, which used to be right at there.
My name is Tim Adkins. I'm co-founder of Pakmode Media Marketing. We do sports and entertainment marketing, and we do publish I Spy magazine, as well as doing a lot of social and digital marketing for the sports and entertainment world specifically. We work very closely with Bank of Ann Arbor, so this is actually kind of fun for me to be up here. So that's it.
So, Tim, why don't you start telling us just like a list of some of the contests and incentives that you've done with your company and what you have experience with?
Sure. So basically, as a marketing company, everything we do is revolved around digital strategy and social media, really. So every aspect of every product we've ever done usually has a Twitter and Facebook page. Do you want to know about like specific?
Yeah, like specific programs that you've used or incentives.
Oh, sure. So we've done. I'm trying to think. I'm drawing a blank now. I don't know. I'm absolutely blanking right now.
That's okay. We'll start with Lyndsay and
Yeah,
come back to you.
I thought we were supposed to start.
Part of my role at the ad agency is to integrate social into our existing like print, billboard, more traditional campaigns. Some of the work we've done with Great Hotel is giving away a stay, easy things like that, products that easy to access for our clients. And we've seen people just flip for like a free 2-night stay at Great Hotel. Just making sure that the offline campaigns have an online component is really important, and making sure that it matches, it's cohesive, everything looks like the same brand, the same agency kind of flows. For Bank of Ann Arbor, one of our most successful campaigns was the Sweet 15. The bank is so involved in the community, but didn't really have the strongest Facebook presence or Facebook presence that matched its involvement. So we came up with this idea where people, I'm sure some of you know, voted, had a charitable component. It really matched the bank's message, and we really saw their likes skyrocket from a little under 300 to 16,000 over the course of the campaign. And I know Rhonda can speak more to that.
Yeah, and we were just sort of describing some of the other things we've done at the bank is another project called Project Help that we did this spring, which allowed people to vote for charities, and then we did something that allowed people to give us ad ideas for our thing. So I guess that's technically crowdsourcing, which is kind of a fun concept for advertising. But and then and we can talk about some of the things that we've had as being successful. So our actually maybe I'll step back to Lyndsay if you want to talk a little bit more about the Sweet 15 and the success. Well, the Sweet 15 was successful by a lot of measures, particularly by those that generated likes. So as Lyndsay mentioned, we went from 300 fans to nearly 16,000 fans. which was pretty amazing even particularly for a bank. And it really caught on. It touched people in the sense that they got to vote for organizations and direct our money towards those campaigns. But other measures that we found was interesting for our campaign, it was called Build a Billboard, which maybe you remember. Our billboards have been very well received. And that campaign was 2 years ago, and it allowed people to submit their ideas for headlines that would appear on our billboard. And our friends at Perich created a very fun app so it looked like a billboard when you typed your submission on. So there was some interactivity with it. And that one didn't generate nearly as many fans, nearly as many likes. We've got about 700 submissions, which compared to the 16,000 didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. But what it did get us is a lot of publicity. Because of that, when we pushed that out to the media, it was picked up by a national financial publication that highlighted this campaign, which was then picked up by Forbes, Entrepreneur, and Cranes. So the measures for success can be in different ways. How about Tim? How about some of your success?
Sure. I'm sorry, my daughter has the flu, so I've been awake since 2:30 this morning. Sorry, Samantha. So a really successful campaign that we worked on and we helped implement was with the Eastern Michigan University football team. We developed a campaign called Together We Vote, where they were able to, fans were able to vote on a jersey combination for the team that they were going to wear. Eastern unveiled, I think it was 21 different new jerseys, colors, and jersey schemes that they were going to use for this season. And what we were able to do is actually get the fans involved with dictating something that happened on the game, or actually during the game, which, as many of you know, being probably Michigan fans or Eastern fans yourself, you can't do that. You just don't have that opportunity to have any say with what happens in the field. So that was actually one of our bigger campaigns that we ran. That was really successful, and we got a lot of alumni and people in the community just interested in Eastern football, which there's a huge dissonance between the Ypsilanti community and Southeastern Michigan, for that matter, and football, and this was all a way for them to get directly involved.
Lyndsay, why don't you talk a little bit about more about the Sweet 15 campaign and some of the metrics that you used to measure the success for that, and how you came up with your various measurements.
Well, what inspired the Sweet 15 campaign? Well, one, the bank's 15th anniversary, celebrating their involvement in the community, and the fact that they give so generously to the community and it's largely unrecognized, which is great, but why not involve the people who could be recipients of the money, have them vote, have a say in where the money could go, see if it generates traction on Facebook, and really draw attention to the work that the bank's been doing. Their 15 years in the community has been going sort of unrecognized. So we just had this idea for an app. It was a two-phase campaign, and people could nominate charities and then later vote on them, and based on the percentage of votes, I think. Well, Rusty was a long time ago. We awarded different denominations of money, and we saw different levels of activity. People would come and they'd vote, and then they'd have to do some sort of activity to put money into the pot of $75,000, which was then to be given away to the various charities or organizations. And it was really interesting to see not only the likes surge, but people coming back and voting repeatedly. And we were kind of looking at those metrics as well, like people coming once and then deactivating the application, and then we're losing them. But they were really coming back. They were staying fans. After the campaign, we didn't see a huge drop-off. It's not like everyone just went and unliked the bank. And so we realized that this was really something powerful that we had done, and this was an audience we'd have access to potentially over the long haul. And we kind of started this whole charitable theme with the bank's Facebook presence that we continue through a whole other campaign, Project Help, which Rhonda mentioned earlier.
So, Rhonda, let me ask you, we've talked a lot about campaigns that you've done that have been successful. Tell us about something that flopped or an unanticipated snag that you've had in dealing with contests.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I was thinking back with the Sweet 15, it happened again with our Project Help, was the challenges of the users. That's actually, I guess Lyndsay's going to talk about that too. But the testing things on different browsers and realizing that our users aren't as sophisticated, even at basic levels. So being prepared with some help, support from our staff, being able to talk them through. We worked very well with having Perich as our backup to help us understand and diagnose what was going on. But something else that caught us, I think caught me off guard, when we did this, particularly the Sweet 15 campaign, people were voting for their favorite charity, and we had a list that they were ultimately voting on in the end, and there was a surprise, well, there wasn't a lot, but there was some snarkiness between people. So one of the groups that was up for voting was the Plymouth Marching Band, and they were competing to get $10,000, but they were also competing against the Humane Society or I can't remember if it was a shelter association, something like that. So I was really shocked when people hopped on the wall of our Facebook page and said derogatory things about the marching band. And, you know, like, this is not fair, those kids are rich, or whatever, you know, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So being prepared to handle those comments, I think, looking back, that we did a pretty good job because we didn't attack people, we monitored our page quickly, we were paying attention and gave them, I think, appropriate responses, recognizing that a lot of times people just want to be heard. So sometimes when they'd say really mean things to us, or post mean things on the wall, if we at least acknowledged their comment, didn't give it sort of support, but just said, we heard what you said, they would often pull their post off the wall. That was helpful. And then one time we did have a secret program because somebody was being really snarky on our page, and we were dialoguing with friends of ours that were also on the Facebook page and could see it, and so we used our links between fan to fan to fan to get back at this person, and they removed their post.
Lyndsay, have you anticipated any kind of unexpected snags in any of the campaigns that you guys have done?
Well, we've learned that you can't ask too much of people. If you ask too much of their time, if you ask them to film and submit a video, they're not going to do it. There's a huge barrier to entry with something like that, especially if the prize is pretty small. So you have to have like a really minimal ask and a decent sized reward, or that feeling of participation to really see your numbers grow. And users can be a challenge. I've learned that as simple as you can make it, you know, it's going to for sure work across all browsers. Having like security settings in Facebook enabled correctly, I mean, is huge. So I would make sure that you do all your research on that and make sure you see a lot of different environments, or else people are going to flood your page with complaints. And it's a really good reminder that social media is a wonderful customer service tool, also not just a marketing tool. And it's a really good opportunity to answer questions one-on-one and make people feel like they're being heard and their problems are being addressed. So even if things go wrong, there's usually a bright side there.
Tim, any unanticipated problems with any of the things that you've tried today?
Yeah, we actually have a really interesting app right now. It's called The List, and it's on our Facebook page, and what you can do is basically you opt into the list and you earn points for commenting, sharing, and liking the content that we post. So we're actually rewarding fans for just being involved and engaged with us. But one problem that we realized, and I didn't even think about it until we were like halfway through the launch, was that we're posting, hey fans, join the list, get involved, blah blah blah, and then people were trying to access the link, their mobile on their phones, and they couldn't. And that was like one thing that I just did not anticipate whatsoever, and working around trying to solve that problem right now. But that was something that just to keep in, I guess, when you're doing these things, that the majority of it, specifically for my audience and our users, they're on their phone, or they're on their Go, or they're on their iPad or something, and it has to be mobile friendly, so that way you're including everyone, because if you're asking them to do something later, they're not going to do it. They need to be able to access it like right now, and so that was something that kind of like came up that I didn't really anticipate.
One of the other things that I wanted to talk to you guys are about some concerns and restrictions that are unique to your businesses or industries. And I know Lyndsay's had quite a bit of experience dealing with some of the unique restrictions that Facebook imposes and how they're constantly changing. So can you talk a little bit about some of those?
Well, Facebook's rules are always changing. And the way you can have a contest changes. When we were first doing custom Facebook tabs, they're basically just iframes. And now they're whole applications, and there's a lot more involved, and you have to have an SSL certificate, and needs to be secure. And there are more hurdles, I feel like, every time we go to do a Facebook contest than there were the last time? Do people have to like it to see the page? Or is there a page that they see before they like it? And then it directs them what to do. So I would just really research Facebook's changes. It always helps to have like a trusted web developer in your corner. You can ask questions and make sure that you understand them from like, I understand it from the ad side, but I don't always understand it from the technical side. So if someone you can trust and ask questions, that's like a huge resource. Also, there are certain things Facebook does not want you to use their platform for. They're liable. If we violate their terms of service, I mean, they can shut down your page. They don't want you using their built-in mechanisms to run a contest or give away money or give away a stay. So you have to make sure that you're not really breaking their rules because they have all the power in that situation and they could shut you down and then your Facebook page is gone. So I would make sure that you read their rules. They actually don't change their rules that often as much as they change their terms of service. So they're really easy to spot. If you go to your Facebook settings, you can read. They give out great how-tos that they publish themselves and resources that are accessible for everyone, whether you work in the industry or not.
Yeah, I know one of the things that I see a lot of is companies posting things like our post to get this or be entered to win this, and that's something that you are not allowed to do on Facebook, correct?
Yeah, and when they brought out the new like timeline cover photo, there were restrictions there, like you cannot have calls to action in your timeline photo, and I don't know if they're going to crack down on everybody, but it's best to just follow their rules just in case, and there's always creative workarounds. So.
I'm sure in the financial industry there are also unique things, and I know we've had to deal with a few things we have to be careful about. Can you talk a little bit about some of those?
Yeah, and so that's, encouraging that even though, if you might think about it, the financial world is one of the most heavily regulated industries, maybe it's second to the healthcare industry. And so a lot of my colleagues around the state are really nervous about being on Facebook or doing anything like that. But I think that it's possible to do it. Actually, we have done it. We're just following the simple guidelines. There are some regulatory requirements that we have to have in all of our advertisements. So we have those on our Facebook page. We follow the rules for Facebook itself. And then just knowing sort of the advertising requirements, that's generally how Facebook gets treated, at least like in the banking industry by our regulators. They consider it an advertising tool. So following those requirements, and then as long as we fit in with Facebook, then actually we've been able to have contests and have fun with those and really introduce us to a new audience. So I'd say even if you're in an industry where you're regulated and people feel nervous about it, it's just you know what you're doing and just read up and you can have fun in that space.
Tim, how about you in the publishing industry? Are there any unique concerns that you've run into when you've been trying to do contest things you've had to keep in mind as you're developing various incentive programs?
Yeah, I think the first and foremost thing is that we're not actually allowed to talk to people directly. So that's why 9 times out of 10 you have to use a third party to contact the winner for you. So that was something that I was like, well, I'm just a normal guy. I'll just go in there and I'll tell them that that they won, congratulations, and Facebook doesn't want you to do that, so they want you to use this third-party service so that I think legally protects them. Also, just something to remember, it's something that we tell all of our clients is it's really important to have your own internal social policies and rules and make those visible to people, so that way when they do violate them and you remove that post, you can then warrant the fact that you removed the post, and then they're not taken off guard or feel slighted because, oh, you don't like me or whatever it was, or you don't like what they say, because you'll get that if you have to remove a post. Specifically in for what we do with the athletic side of things, everybody wants to cheer on their team, but when they do bad or when the coach makes a not so good coaching decision, you can just imagine what people want to say, and kind of the floodgates are open. But if you have that expectations laid out clearly, like we do not tolerate X, Y, and Z, then it kind of helps alleviate some of those comments. And also, when you do have to remove a comment or hide a comment for that matter, they at least can anticipate like why, and you can back up your actions that you did. So.
Now, are any of those safeguards sort of built into some of the software pieces you've used, like the list, or are there any others that you've used that have some of those functionalities?
Yeah, basically any third party that you use is going to have their own legal verbiage, and they're going to be themselves are going to be protected, and that's why it's almost almost just better just to use them, so that way, at any point there it's a fault. You're just, using their service, just like you use Facebook as a service. But I tend to just, there's policies out there, and I just, if you don't know what it is, I just tell people to copy and paste it and just type in, enter your name. I mean, it's like the DIY approach. I just think that's the easiest. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's already out there. Just find it and use it for to make it make sense for you and your business.
So were there other programs that you researched when you were getting started with incentive programs, or how would you recommend to somebody who's never done one before to start doing their homework and get going with an incentive program?
Sure. Well, I'm like the guy who's never done that before, so I'm like a good example to use. I had to basically teach myself how to do a lot of the stuff that we do, and the simplest way is Google it. If there's a lot of people in here are entrepreneurs or salespeople or self-motivated. Figure it out. There's a YouTube video or there's a Google search result that somebody else has already laid out for you, just waiting for you to find it and start to implement things for yourself. But specifically a couple services that I really like to use and I found very helpful that are extremely inexpensive are North Social is a great, for small businesses, and it's very inexpensive, and it's pretty turnkey. You just basically have to have really good creative, really good artwork, and the functionality behind it is already there. Another company is called Heyo, H-E-Y-O, and they're another company who's doing a lot of the same stuff that North Social does, but their emphasis is more on the mobile. So you can do these incentives and these apps via your Facebook page, but they'll also be able to be visible on your iPhone, your Android, your BlackBerry. And Bushaka is a company, Bushaka, I don't know how to spell that, but they're a company that we use for the actual rewards, for incentivizing our fans for engaging with us and rewarding them with points, in which we give them prizes and they earn actual rewards just for being engaged with us on Facebook. So those three companies, you could basically at a very low cost, if you didn't want to make a custom app and use a local company for that, at a very low cost. Those I think would be great alternatives to get your page started and head in the right direction.
So Lyndsay, do you have any advice for somebody who might be interested in getting started in contests or incentives and what they should be looking for and what they should be thinking about?
Well, I would start with research, so that's what I would recommend. Like I said, Facebook publishes case studies and some of the work that they're proud of and the brands that they really want to highlight because they want to show off their full capabilities. So I would check out and see what Facebook's published, what Facebook recommends. And then there are a few big aspirational brands that I look to, Nike, Coke, Starbucks, those huge brands, are going to be compliant because they have a lot to lose, and they're going to be creative because they have a big budget and strong brands. So I think it's good to get inspiration from the people we're doing it really well, and I don't think there's any shame in that because it's all about idea sharing and being inspired for your own brand, and you might take away something surprising from what a coffee company's doing, even if that's not your business. There are a lot of great turnkey solutions if you want something small and simple. I know Facebook has preferred vendors. I don't really know what that means, or if they're really just their friends, if it's really worth going through someone like that, or a great small local ad agency could potentially work out something custom for you that integrates with the rest of your brand strategy. But I don't know, whatever you want to do. But I really think doing your homework, browsing around, seeing what you like and what pages you already like and what they're doing, because that page has obviously done something to get your attention if you're a fan and it's a brand you already interact with. So I would look there first.
And I'll add just a couple of things that I was thinking about, particularly even as I've interacted with other bankers, is I've seen others try to emulate this social media charitable giving thing, but they put $1,000 toward it. So I guess it's one of our bosses, Tim Marshall's phrases is go big or go home. So, make the contest so it's worth doing something for. So when we put $75,000 on the table for people to give away, help give money to charities, that got people's attention. So that I think don't think small, think big. And also, I just started the thing was grants.
Well, and if a company didn't have, say, $75,000 to put into a contest or incentive, they could also offer something like services that they provide.
I was
or
going to say,
things
know
like
what's
that.
big for your audience.
Yeah.
Right.
Like what's going to move the needle for your audience. Like for Grand Hotel, giving away a 2-night stay is huge. People love going to Grand Hotel, but that's actually a very minimal cost to us on our side. It's a huge experience for someone. Throwing in like a gas card or a rental car really kind of sweetens the deal without doing the expense. So for for us, that's big. But cost is really low, and for the fans, it's big. So.
And that's actually, I guess that was my other point, was make it relevant to your audience. You know, for the bank to give away something kind of 2 nights at Grand Hotel may not make a lot of sense, but free financial services or money toward charity. So I think I've seen contests where people have tried stuff that seems kind of out of the range of what their branding is about. So I think keep it relevant.
Yeah, and just to touch on that, I think that it's really important that it's the immediate incentive. The more often that you can do that, I think the better. People, if you ask them to take a certain action, they want an immediate response and they want an immediate reward, or if it's an email with a download code or whatever it may be. But they don't want to have to wait for it, or they don't have to do another step. I think that's really important because sometimes we lose that interaction. We have their attention, so keep it or move along. But you have to act or get them to act. I think pretty quickly, and that's something that we on any scale, big or small. It's that you can give somebody. Yeah, I mean it could be a 10% off coupon, but you're going to have more if you give that to them immediately when they do something. You're going to have more return.
Well, it's 12:30, which means it's time to open it up to you for questions. If anybody has anything specific that they'd like to ask to one of our panelists or a general question for the group. So does anybody have any questions that they'd like to ask to kick things off? Here. We'll start with what successful ways have you reached people to drive them to Facebook if they don't already like your business? So how do you attract people that aren't already fans?
You can use Facebook ads, and they're actually really low cost depending on your audience, and they have great targeting. So it's one option. You can get like a 30-cent cost for if you're doing your targeting right, it's really great. So that's one option, or using offline modes of communication. Like a great benefit to us is that we have an awesome client that promotes their Facebook presence offline, like in branch or even what kind of collateral materials. But there's a great benefit to having offline and online promotions driving traffic to the same destination.
And some of the things that Bank of Ann Arbor did to promote our contest on Facebook were we did actually have good old-fashioned printed materials for our branch people to hand to clients. We put it in our Outlook signature, so every email that went out from different parts of our sales teams, that was a free with a link to our Facebook page. We did some other things. We didn't really put it in our advertising because our advertising is a branding strategy. But any other sort of offline thing, primarily using the social networks of our sales team. So they talked about it when they were at lunch with clients and things like that, so we relied on that as well.
We generally, I have an iPad that I bring with me to events and stuff like that, and people just, I have it available up there, and they can like the page, and generally it's to enter something that I'm giving away, but that's usually our best bet as far as on-site doing something and incorporating it into our other marketing plans, so having it available, just even the little Facebook logo. What's happening? Having a Facebook logo, Twitter logo on anything that you're putting out to the world, whether it be on a billboard or a flyer or a poster, promoting a band or something, just letting them know, educating them that, hey, we're on Facebook. That helps.
I have a question for Rhonda about how you measure success in terms of likes converting to ROI.
Ooh, those are the fancy marketing terms. Well, I will be honest and admit that we don't directly measure those things. Mostly because our marketing campaigns have been branding in nature, and so there's not a direct correlation. I can't say that because we ran this ad or because we did this Facebook campaign, we have 10 new deposit accounts. What I can tell you is that Bank of Ann Arbor is one of the most profitable banks in the country. We're in the top 10% of performance for banks across the country as well. So I can measure anecdotally, and I can see our numbers in our Facebook activity, as well as our ad campaign go up. So I think until I get a lot of anecdotal evidence, people commenting and reinforcing that with us. So the return on investment has been indirect, so I can't specifically measure that. So sorry.
Lyndsay, do you have any specific examples of ROI that you've seen with some of your clients that you've done campaigns for?
Well, there's easy to measure metrics like more likes increase. That's really easy to see. You can also look on your page insights and see repeat visitors or how many people are liking or commenting. Those things are easy to measure. But also looking at the sentiment of the posts. Like if you feel like people stop kind of using your page to complain all the time, you notice a lot of the posts tend to be positive. Or people are, without being prompted, writing something really positive about the bank. It just gives you the sense that there's goodwill towards your brand in the community, that people are just like unsolicited writing good things about you. I mean, that's a great feeling. So that, it's really hard to measure, but it's just like a sense that you get in the semantics, which is just kind of hard to qualify, but there really aren't those kind of metrics for a lot of the other print or traditional methods that we use. So it doesn't mean social's not as scientific as some of the other methods.
And I'm sure, Tim, with you, because you guys are spending the money to invest in some of these third-party softwares, you want to make sure that that investment is worth it for you in terms of interactions and likes that you have on your page. Have you found that it's worth it, the money that you've been putting in towards these various third-party?
Yeah, 100%, because I mean, to be honest, my money invested is very minimal. So just to be honest, we try to do things at a low cost, the most effective way that we can. But I think that the more important question is like ROI. Like, okay, so what is the return on your investment? Well, what does that mean? Like, I guess the end goal, you have to know the end goal. Is it I want to invest, $100 a month because I want more likes on my Facebook page, but what does that mean? Like, okay, you have more likes on your Facebook page. That doesn't mean that more people are going to buy your product or service. It just means you have, a bigger audience, which is a good thing. But maybe those two things aren't this one and the same. And I think that specifically a lot of the clients that I work with, a lot of people that I talk to, they don't know what that answer is. They want to just assume that more likes and more Facebook fans is going to equate to more sales. That's not necessarily the case. You want it to be more of a customer service, or you want it to be more of a, just even for human resources, you want to help fill positions that you have in using social. I mean, that could be your return, but I think it's all relative to what that actually means, and knowing what ahead of time what you're getting yourself into and what you want to get as an end result.
Another thing, Rhonda, since you work for a larger organization, can you talk about getting your employees involved, and if someone like at a teller level would be encouraged to get involved or discouraged from liking a page so as not to skew the numbers, or how you get involvement amongst employees?
Well, we have set up, in 2009 when we actively started engaging in Facebook as a bank, we did set up an internal social media policy for our employees. They now have to read that every year. And it's been delightful at the bank because our president, Tim Marshall, has taken an active role in social media himself. And so he's been very strong advocate, pushing everybody else to be involved as much as they can. Now, we do try to discourage people from doing it during their work hours, like really encouraged to do it on their breaks or at lunch hour or at home, except for Matthew, who does it constantly. But I think that if you try to isolate it and then don't let your employees be part of it, that really limits who you can reach. Many of our employees aren't involved and don't really care to be friends with me on Facebook or are fans of our page. But as many as I can, I love to have that. I use my own personal page in a kind of modest way that's both my personal life to a kind of a general interest way, but also with the bank's brand as well. So I think that as long as people are comfortable crossing those lines to encourage everybody to participate, I think it's embarrassing if my employees didn't like our page or be part of it. And so I like the idea that we have at the bank is where everybody joins in, and as much as they're interested and willing. Sometimes it takes a lot of hand-holding. That's been Samantha's job, and Matthew Altrudo also works for us as well, is to sit with some of our employees who we know have a reach, but they don't know how to use Facebook. So we sit with them and put their picture up so they don't look like stalkers, and do a bunch of stuff to kind of coach coach them through, and now they've got a wide range of people, and they're engaging with us on Facebook and reaching people that we wouldn't. So I guess I would support and encourage you to make an open culture of social media in your business.
We can take a couple more questions if anybody has any other. Got a cart back here.
I'm sure this one's for Tim.
Actually, this could be a good one for Tim. Okay, so the question is, how often do you use cross-promotional contests with Twitter, Pinterest, other platforms than Facebook? The comment is Twitter seems to be quicker, more simple, etc. than Facebook. The response is instant. How do you use those tools together?
That's great. We actually use those all the time. Twitter is like a totally different monster, and there are much less restrictions on what you can and can't do there. I mean, it's kind of just like a whatever. You can do whatever you want. So we've actually found a lot of success in going back to what I said earlier about the instant gratification, being able to, like, in real time, have conversations and do stuff. So like a retweet contest or fill in the blank contest and things like that have been really helpful, specifically with the work that we're doing at Little Caesars Pizza Bowl. That was driving traffic on Twitter in the contest that we were doing there was easily our best promotion that we were doing with that client. But we've used Pinterest. It's just like anything else. You have to have the time and the resources, and at the end of the day, the money to invest into doing those things. And for the most part, people don't. They just want to stick with Facebook and Twitter.
Lyndsay, do you have any thoughts on the cross-promotional?
We have a few clients who really use social media more from an HR perspective, and they want to recruit and they want to network, and I think Twitter is great for that. LinkedIn also, or LinkedIn's meant to do that. Twitter is a really good way to search people out and kind of find their talents and interests and network with them. And also networking on behalf of brands. It's easier to interact with like other banks or other hotels or other people in your industry on Twitter than it is on Facebook. It's really easy to have that conversation and to build your following that way. So I think it's totally different. It's short, it's quick, but it can be better for networking sometimes. Facebook's better for like longer form interactions, and you want people to come back over and over again and kind of hang out and spend a lot of time on your page. Pinterest is great for a visual brand. It's amazing. We've seen so much engagement. Like for Great Hotel Weddings, we have these beautiful photographs that were just like kind of sitting in a web gallery. They weren't really going to Facebook. We also got a Great Hotel Weddings Instagram, which is great for a visual brand, and people love it, and it's really inspirational, and people are pinning our photos and following our boards. And so if you have a brand that you think could benefit from something more visual, maybe a heavier female audience, I think those platforms are great. And you can always like use the same hashtag or link back. Like every one of our photos links back to your website or your Facebook page, or really wherever you want it to go, wherever you want to drive traffic.
Rhonda, do you have any thoughts on cross-promotional across various social media platforms?
Well, the only thing I will add is that since we kind of were bankers to start with, and so we started with Facebook, and we started pushing our posts out to Twitter, and then we had Matthew join us and realize that we weren't using Twitter very effectively. So to think of them as these, to have mentioned, is think of them as different modes of communication. They're not just the same thing that you push out, but using them differently.
So we're just about finished, but before we go, I just want to thank all of our panelists. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Lyndsay. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you all for coming, and thank you, LA2M, for having us here today. And if you guys have any questions, like I said, we'll be available afterwards, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Great. Wonderful panel. Wonderful panel. So now we get to do introductions, to get around the whole room in 15 minutes, which I think we can do it. Some people are going to sneak out. But please give us your name, your company, and briefly if you're looking for anything, and then pass the mic, and we'll see if we can do this in 15. We'll start with Bilal.
Bilal Saeed with Pakmode Media Marketing. Follow us on Twitter, Pakmode MN.
Jason West, I work at Design Hub. We're a graphic design and marketing firm in Saline. And my other job is being married to our lovely moderators.
Matthew Altrude, I work for the Bank of Ann Arbor, and I'm also the radio host for Treetown Sound on 107.1.
I'm Joanna. I'm from the Washtenaw County Office of Community and Economic Development, and we're holding an event on Tuesday, January 29th, with the help of Bank of Ann Arbor, called the Washtenaw County Community Capital Forum. It's going to be featuring a speaker and economist, Michael Schumann, who will be talking about ways to support and invest in local businesses. And it'll be a great opportunity for entrepreneurs and local business leaders and business owners to collaborate with policymakers and community bankers to come up with ways to strengthen our local economy. So if you're interested, come up and see me afterwards. I brought flyers. You can also search Washtenaw County Community Capital Forum on Facebook or Twitter.
Hi, I'm Leslie McGraw with Let's Go Social Media Marketing and Training, and I love helping solopreneurs find their voice on using social media to motivate and build a community online. Thanks.
I'm Colleen Flynn with Carnival Cruise Lines. We have a great new certificate program that starts at $899 inclusive for a 3 or 4 day cruise, which is fantastic for contests, whether it be incentive, sales, development. And just to caution you, if you're giving away any kind of travel, make sure it's inclusive, any costs the recipient might have. Really annoys them if they have to pay for something they won.
Hi, I'm Laura Kirchner, and I'm the Client Experience Manager at Ingenix Digital Marketing.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou. I'm with LA2M. Thanks for coming, and come back next week.
Hi, I'm Prisha Hapatica, and I'm a master's student at Michigan State, and I'm interning with Adkins right now.
Hi, I'm Erin O'Neill. I'm a content producer at Ingenix, one of the live tweeters for LA2M. And I just want to announce we're doing a digital chat next Friday, January 25th. We're going to be talking about new digital marketing trends in 2013, so looking forward to that. Join us 3 o'clock, Friday, January 25th. Should be a great time. Follow Ingenix.
Hi, I'm Lauren, also from Ingenix, and I'm the social media coordinator.
I'm Lori Stratton. I'm in transition. I'm interested in connecting with people who work in marketing, public relations, or communications, and in particular, I'm also interested in meeting people who work for 4C here in Ann Arbor.
Hi, I'm Hank Zampa, N21Corp.com, which is a support system in e-commerce, national and international, and we help people develop and start e-commerce businesses.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Sweden with Site Designs. I provide web and graphic design to small businesses.
I'm Mike Brooks. I'm with Import Technologies. We're a local startup. I'm here to pitch today, though, for ACE, the annual collaboration for entrepreneurship, which will take place on January 31st in Livonia at Burton Manor. It's a new place, new location for us. I've got flyers here. Really encourage anybody that's interested in the entrepreneurial world, either as entrepreneurs or service providers, to attend. And got flyers that I can hand out.
Talk about volunteers.
Oh yes, we could use some volunteers. So if anybody would like to help out and help us make it more successful, would be great.
I'm Dennis Skupinski. I do sales and marketing and help out Roger with the videoing.
I'm Roger Rayle. I'm a venture catalyst. I help make ideas work, and I've started a video meetup group that's had its initial meeting tonight. So see me afterward if you're interested at all in anything video.
Frank Lyndsay, Marketing Director for Absolute Pure Water, and big fan of Pakmode and Bank of Ann Arbor. And thank you guys very much for being here today.
I'm John Keitel. I manage the Facebook page for the Kiwanis Thrift Center.
I'm Phyllis Engelbert. I'm co-owner of the Lunchroom and do marketing for Bill's Beer Garden.
And I'm Bill Zolkowski. We opened Bill's Beer Garden last October 17th. We ran 7 weekends. We will reopen on March the 15th and hope to see all of you there.
Yay. Greg Samples.
My name is Sarah. I'm head of design and marketing for Northern United Drink Company.
I am Nicola Anagon, and I manage the Facebook and Twitter accounts for a few mission management restaurants here in Ann Arbor.
I'm Michelle Berklund-Schulman, and I'm with Perich Design and Advertising.
Hi, I'm Judy DeFord in marketing. Marketing for the Betty Brigade. We do relocation, organizing, and event planning. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tom Crawford, and among other things, I'm a mobile app developer. So if you need a mobile app developed, come talk to me afterwards.
I'm Allie Lauren, and I'm from the ACY Chamber doing marketing events, and I'm also a senior at U of M. I'm Katie Jones. I'm the Director of Marketing Events at the ACY Chamber, and we are having our gala on February 8th, and you are all invited.
Hi, I'm Tim Sefton with Merrill Lynch Wealth Management, and I'm here learning about social media and how we can grow our business that way.
Hi, I'm Emily Walsh. I'm a senior at Michigan State, and I'm also an intern at Ingenex Digital Marketing. Hi, I'm Laura Enna, and I'm also a senior at Michigan State and an intern at Ingenex.
I'm Patrick Haldick. I just started as the Assistant New Media Manager at WEMU 89.1. We're having For the Love of WEMU event at the Northside Grill on the 16th of February, and we're looking for volunteers for our on-air fundraiser April 4th through the 11th.
My name is Kyle Mocha. I build social web applications, interested in that sort of thing. Let's talk.
Hi, my name is Jordan Beecham. I work for Dexter Builders, and I'm helping out with marketing there and trying to get more mobile and more internet friendly.
Sorry. Hello, my name is Brad Labadie. I work over at Kapurch Insurance at our office in Ann Arbor, but I also am on the committee for the Young Professionals Group in the ACY Chamber, and we have a how-to networking event for young professionals next Wednesday. It is going to be at, it's 5 p.m. at Sandler. If you go on Facebook, you can like the A2Y Converge page and learn all about it. Bilal will be there, Katie will be there, it'll be a great time. Hope to see you.
I'm also from Kapurch Insurance Group. My name is Jeff Blanton. I don't have anything as exciting as Brad would say, so I'll pass on.
Hi, I'm Greg Hammerman. Igor Murphy's with me here, and Andrew Bank. I'm going to speak for the three of us and use 2 seconds more time, I suppose, or 10 seconds less. We are with Larky. Larky is established to make sure you get every perk, discount, and benefit you're entitled to. So if you're a member of AAA, an alumni association, professional organization, we tell you at the right place and time, and you're entitled to that. We're here because we're looking for some help from marketing folks. So if you're a marketing person, we'd love to chat with you. We're also growing our software development resources. So if you're one of those folks, we're interested in talking with you. And if you're neither of those, sign up for the free app and web service larky.com, L-A-R-K-Y. Thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jim Musial, and I work in web and mobile development. We work with companies to help you with your web and mobile strategies.
Hey, Laura Spenceley. We're big fans of Bank and of Arbor. Thanks for all you do for the community, and Ingenex, Derek, thank you. And it's never disaster until you're the one standing in 3 inches of water in your home, or the water is raining down on you and through your pot light. So we can make that like it never even happened.
I'm Barb Hesselberg, and I'm with Growers Solutions.
Hello, everyone. I'm Megan Crosby. I'm with the Charles Reinhardt Company. We are a local residential and commercial real estate company here in Ann Arbor.
Good afternoon. I'm Ann Lewalk from the Hemophilia Foundation of Michigan, and I oversee social media, among other things.
Hi, I'm Ashley Frashoni. I'm actually the last employee from Ingenex, so you guys are going to see after joining there, and that's my love.
I'm Bob Shannon. I'm a local CPA, and I have a small practice specializing in helping small companies, high-tech startups, with their accounting and tax work.
Hi, I'm Michelle Rogers. I'm managing editor of Heritage Media. We have 8 weekly newspapers in Washoe Wayne counties, and I also, part of my Idea Lab project through Digital First Media, launched the Community Media Lab, where we teach people how to set up social media accounts and create audio embeds, video, and locator maps, anything social, we'll teach how to do, and it's free.
I'm Laura Friend from Detroit Public Television with underwriting and mobile production.
Hey everybody, I'm Don Glenn from the Arbor Transportation Authority. I'm multimedia marketing assistant there and social media, also at the Michigan Public Transit Association. On the side, I also compose for APOC's music, film, soundtracks for film, television, commercials, and games. If you guys need a soundtrack, come see me. Don does it on Twitter.
Hello, I'm Kevin Packard from Foresight Group. We offer a broad range of printing services from large sheet-fed offset work to unique custom digital products.
Hi everybody, I'm Stacy from Dollarville Copy, your local digital print shop. And the most important point that Rhonda tried to make from the bank was you have to have printed pieces to go on your social media. And we did a lot of those printed pieces for Rhonda. Thanks.
Hi, my name is David Olson. I'm a digital media strategist and content producer with Speakeasy Productions. I just recently relocated back to Ann Arbor after working in New York City for the last 15 years. And now I'm working with local businesses and organizations like the Ann Arbor Summer Festival, developing and executing digital strategies.
Good afternoon. My name is Frank Blanchard with a company called Xenocom. We are a technology firm that specializes in managing computer networks, custom software development, .NET development, and mobile application development.
Hi, my name is Sydney Hawkins, and I work at the Ann Arbor Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. And short that up online if you'd like to follow us on Twitter or Facebook or visit Ann Arbor.
I am Jim Campbell from ExcitingProductions.com, and if you want to see a great example of somebody using video on their website, check out the Dance Pavilion in Ypsilanti, thedancepavilion.com.
Hello, my name is Ashley Allerman, and I have a startup business. It's called Footnotes. It's a ballroom dance studio. And our grand opening event is next Friday, January 25th. It has a little bit of dancing, a little bit of performing, and a good time.
Hi, I'm Trish Stuckey, and I'm the owner and master teacher of the College of Ballroom Dance. And I also work with Ashley, and I'm having an open house March 21st.
Hi, I'm Jerry Willis. I am the creative director at a cinematography and photography studio here in Ann Arbor. And with these lovely ladies, on February 6th, we will be hosting an event called Get Plugged In. And it is an after-work affair. It is specifically for headshots, networking, and introductory to various dance genres. So if you'd like to hear more about it, please come see us.
My name is Chelsea Atcho, and I work for Pakmode Media and Marketing.
My name is Colin Taylor, and I'm a current intern for Pakmode Media and Marketing.
Hi, I'm Carter Sherline from Print Studios. I'm a commercial editorial and portrait photographer, which pretty much covers almost everything except for weddings. And obviously I photograph LA2M meetings, and those go up on the group's Facebook page.
Thanks for doing that, Carter. Carter's one of the many volunteers that supports the organization, in addition to like Roger Rayle, who does live streaming every week. So we're really volunteer supported, so thank you. And yeah, what a great turnout. You know, I think panelists, especially when they're prestigious people like these, really bring out a good crowd, you know. We'll get to them in one sec, but I should introduce myself. Derek Marabon. I run a company called Ingenix Digital Marketing, and we do a lot of these types of things, social media, obviously. I'm glad to be here. I tend to kick off these things, which I enjoy doing. It's fun. And let me just introduce. Well, you guys want to give your Twitter handles real quick?
Yeah, mine is going to be the same as Rhonda's, so I'll let her do
I'm at Bank of Ann Arbor, also Sonic Lunch, and then personally, you can find me at RJ Foxworth.
All right, I have about 20 Twitter handles, so get ready. Now you can follow me at Timbo Slice. That's it. And I Spy Magazine and Pakmode MM.
You can like Perich on Facebook, Perich Advertising and Design. You can follow me, although I don't say anything lately, at Lyndsay H.
Thank you. And if you check Twitter, I think everyone was tweeting at them all during the thing. They were just too busy speaking. So, yeah, so let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you very much. You can answer all your tweets when you get back to the office on your break. So next week we have an exciting person, Trisha Winter from CompuWare, which is like some big company in Detroit. But she's talking about using data to build your social strategy. So she's pretty high up in the digital marketing department with CompuWare, talking about how they use data to really drive strategy, which I think is another great topic. And we finished at 12:59. So remember, we still need a sponsor for March and April. So any of you people with $250 burning a hole in your pocket, come talk to Mary Lou, and we'll see y'all next time. Go have some fun. Thanks for coming.